So it doesn't look like Sack of Ice is going to be on our favorite pay-per-views of all time list, but that doesn't matter because Impact has been fun to watch lately. I mean, who cares about pay-per-views? Russo's back. It's all about the ratings, and it's about having fun. And nothing says fun than Eric Young becoming the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. And this is why I love Russo. When he rips something off, he doesn't even try to hide the fact that he's ripping it off. Now, I see a lot of TNA fans trying to defend this, saying, oh no, it's nothing like WWE. WWE is not the only company that had a short, bearded underdog win 2 matches in one night to become the new World Heavyweight Champion with a broken arm. Guys, it's alright. It's intended to be a ripoff. Who cares? You guys that are trying to defend this right now are making yourself seem even less credible when you try to defend TNA against something that's actually legitimate. Let's just be happy because Eric Young is a way better world champion than Fagnus, that's for sure.
Yeah, indeed. You know, I read on Facebook the other day, he posted a status saying anyone that thinks Daniel Bryan or Eric Young is a ripoff of Daniel Bryan is fucking stupid. And then when I listed everything that was similar between them, he just said no. And the thing about Eric Young is, there's just like something about the presence he has because you've seen him do it all. You've seen him do every kind of stupid gimmick, and for him to erase that out of people's minds, I should say, and be this serious guy now and actually be believable in doing it, there's just something that you gotta respect about that, and that's something that you can represent with the company. Now, what's funny is that they decided to break up Fagnus and Abyss like 3 weeks after they went together, and I know I said a few weeks ago I wish they had broken up, but now Abyss has sacrificed a world championship for him. Abyss is under contract with Magnus, and lots of plot holes were here, and I think we should bring in Vince Russo. You know, I heard he's in town right now. Maybe we should call him up, and if you want to interview him, go ahead. I'm going to try and get him on speed dial.
That's right, for anyone new to our channel, we actually have a great relationship with Vince Russo. And right now, Mr. Russo, would you please mind explaining the brilliance behind this Abyss versus Fagnus storyline?
It's all quite very simple. You know, Abyss, I had him turn heel, but I didn't want to just turn him heel on the fans. I wanted to turn him heel against Magnus as well. So what I did was, I had Abyss turn heel first on the fans to think that Magnus was on his side. And then I would have Abyss turn heel on Magnus by not helping him, even though he's not under contract with TNA. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to point out the own flaw in my own pothole so that the internet can't talk about it like you just did.
Angelina Love versus Madison Rayne. Even though it should have been Velvet Pie in the match because Velvet Pie is way better than Angelina Love. And the proof is there when you look at just a few weeks ago. All it took was one interference from Velvet Pie to give Angelina the victory. Whereas 2 weeks ago, Angelina interfered 50 times and she still couldn't get the job done. In fact, all she did was hold back my Velvet from a sure victory. So at Sack of Ice, I hope Madison Rayne squashes Angelina just so Velvet Pie can come right back and do what Angelina failed to do, proving once and for all that she's always been the true star of the beautiful people.
I don't know, I have to disagree with your analysis on the match. Despite the fact that Angelina tried every angle possible to give Velvet the win, and she still couldn't win the damn match, that just proves who is the better member of the beautiful people, that with one interference, Angelina can win a match, but with 50 interferences, Velvet still couldn't beat Madison Rayne. I definitely disagree with you on that aspect. I definitely see Angelina Love squashing Madison Rayne, winning the Knockouts Championship, and completely overshadowing Velvet Sky, as she damn well should.
It really does go to show just how much depth the return of the beautiful people gave the Knockout division again. You have my Brittany in the background, who I really wish they'd just give her a last name. I wouldn't even mind if they called her Brittany. Anything is better than just Brittany. But you have her in the background who could either be a top face against the beautiful people or a top heel joining the beautiful people. The only problem is, once again, Phil Kim is trying every trick in the book that she can just to stay relevant. It's like she can't take a back seat and let others have the spotlight for more than 5 minutes. She just had to turn face, even though she still talks like a heel and cuts work shoots about how she thinks she invented the Knockout division. And that makes me think that maybe Brittany should turn heel, because you know Phil Kim's not going to let her be the top face of the division as long as she's the face.
Like you said, you know, Phil Kim she turned face, but she was also a heel at the same time, and what's funny is I consider this kind of a small worked shoot, because it felt like she was just being real. She was going off script. The beautiful people are overshadowing me. We gotta take them down so the division can revolve around me again. Now, as for Brittany, the fact that she's turning heel could end up being a good thing if she joins the beautiful people. Wants to stick it to Madison Rayne for being such a bitch and not letting her join. Like, this reminds me a little bit of Trish Stratus versus Mickie James, only you can understand where Trish Stratus was coming from, whereas with Madison Rayne, she just seems like a bitch. So it seems like Brittany's more the face and Madison Rayne is the heel.
Mr. Kennedy versus Samuel Shaw. And last week, Christy Hemme proved exactly why that would be the most awesome thing possible. I can't even put into words how awesome Christy was as that seductive dominatrix type character. That's the only thing that can make Samuel Shaw more interesting than he is now, is to have a character like that by his side that he can bounce off of, and there's just so much potential there. But since they already teased it, it probably won't happen. But then again, it is Russo, anything's possible.
Yeah, there's one thing that I noticed, and that was the fact that Christy Hemme does make a great heel. She knows how to play that sexy heel character that you just can't have, you know, and Samuel Shaw knows this better than anybody. So I think that was pretty awesome, and like you said, I kind of wanted to see her join Samuel Shaw.
Just when we thought the feud was milked for all it was worth, we get something like what we got tonight. Whoever came up with the idea for these segments, I bet it was Russo, give that man a promotion, because this is what wrestling has been missing for too long, is entertaining, creative segments just like this.
Nothing cracked me up more than when Samuel Shaw went in there, was practically crying because Mr. Kennedy was in his room. That would have to be the most hilarious thing I've seen in my years of wrestling. And not only that, but then when Mrs. Christy Shaw offered the camera guy some of her pie, I'm not sure if there was a double innuendo there, but her pie did look delicious, so I might try myself a slice. As for their sack of ice match, if Samuel Shaw doesn't go over, it really won't make sense as to where he would go. So I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe on Sunday, Christy Hemme will finally turn heel. I said a few weeks ago that I kind of thought that they should move on, but damn it, if you're going to keep giving me segments like this, have this feud going on for the next 3 years. Make this into the next Triple H versus Shawn Michaels, you know?
The thing a lot of people complain about is that TNA is doing too many gimmick matches, and that it devalues that type of match. But seriously, no one besides people on the internet care about that. As long as the matches are fun and they don't throw in guys that suck, like, let's say, I guess the Wolves or Fagnus, it doesn't matter how often we see them.
Yeah, you know, if there's one thing that I tried to do during GM mode when I played SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, it was to try and have as many gimmick matches as possible to try and make the show fun. And that's kind of what TNA is doing right now. I mean, you want to complain about WWE being too boring, but then you complain about TNA being too fun. You know, this reminds me of my jobber friend who would bury me because supposedly I had too many cage matches and it ruined the specialness it had. Well, I wasn't throwing the same guys in there every week, so that's exactly what TNA is doing right now. So, you know what? Stick it to that jobber friend and stick it to all the fans that don't like it. Thank you, Russo. James Storm versus Gunner in an I Quit match, and it seems like it's only appropriate because James Storm has quit a lot of things, like, you know, his catchphrase, or putting effort into his Titantron, but I digress. Gunner just seems like he's lost a lot of steam, like they just stopped trying to, you know, push him as hard as they did when this feud first started, and then forgot about him or something. But anyway, I don't really care about this match, I'm not really interested in it. I hope James Storm wins, but in all honesty, Gunner's probably going to win because a face almost never loses an I Quit match unless your name is Rey Mysterio. I don't know, I really hate the fact that they made EC3 put in a tag team match instead of in a singles match against either Kurt Angle or Willow. It should have been him against Kurt Angle. I mean, they've been building up to that for months. Hell, this is something that should be on Explosion or something. Yeah, Rockstar Spud kind of makes it seem like it's more of a jobber match than it really is. Ow! Tag Team Championships, the Brofags versus the Wolves. I gotta say, I really want the Brofags to win just because the Wolves try too hard to have a damn gimmick. It seems like they really are trying to be wolves, like half wolf, half human. It's like if the animal Batista started eating people or something. I hope Zema Ion squashes all of them and he becomes Tag Team Champion himself and breaks away from the other Brofags. Tigre Uno versus Sanada for the X Division Championship. They made this a best of 3 series, and it seems like the winner isn't going to be the X Division champion. It seems like the winner is fighting for the right to face Kenny King. It's awesome how they're pushing Kenny King. You know, he's developed well as a character and done so well for himself that, damn it, the guy deserves this push. And I don't know if he'll be main event talent. I think we'll have to wait a few months to find out to see if he really is the main eventer that I think he might have the potential to be. But we'll just have to see. I loved MVP to TNA. I thought he was an awesome character. I thought he would do awesome things. But after tonight, damn it, MVP, I really hate you more than I've ever hated a lot of other people in my life. Because, damn it, what the hell do you think you're doing out there? What the hell do you think you're doing by skipping in the ring? What the hell do you think you're doing by beating someone with the Shining Wizard? You know who that reminds me of? That reminds me of the greatest diva in the history of time, AJ Lee. And goddamn it, MVP, I will goddamn fly to Orlando, Florida and give you a fucking Shining Wizard my damn self and then stick a paper bag with AJ Lee's face on you over your face. I also didn't like the booking decision where MVP goes over Austin Aries clean. They should have done something where it ended dirty. The only real reason I could think of right now is it is Russo, so the feud will probably continue despite the fact the face got a clean win.
This has been the MTOMR Reviews. We are wrestling.